Whoa! Loud. Good morning, everyone. Let's bring that down a notch. Make sure and let me know that sounds A-okay. Probably will be not quite as loud in the actual game itself, but where did the game go? There it is. There is the... Ching! This is Circa Infinity. This is also the morning stream with me, your host, Patrick Klubik, who sits here with a microphone and a coffee. So Circa Infinity is a game that I wrote about a little while ago, but in the context of it being a game that was featured by PewDiePie, the popular YouTuber, as I profiled what it's like for your game to be discovered by PewDiePie and what happens next. So I was really intrigued by the concept. This is actually kind of a cool intro too. So you kind of run around on these circles, jump in, and you kind of keep working your way in through these circular holes, which I guess they're kind of hole by nature because they're circles. You can kind of see there's sort of an arrow that's mapped to you where you're going to jump, sort of, or at least where, I guess, where you need to be. And you keep working your way in. Ta-da! And then if you kind of, you know, you reach the end of a stage, and then boom, you've achieved Circa Infinity. You have achieved Transcendence. Good for you, I guess. Wow! Hope chat is doing all right this morning. I'm doing great. Let's see, the chat is looking a little bit weird for me. I'm gonna... Okay, there we go. No? It's still popping up strangely. Hopefully the monitor will clear up and I'll be able to see what anyone's actually saying, but... Oh, there it goes. Okay. The beginning. Zero Jehudi. So, Patrick, how about that Metal Gear Solid 5? Dude, all I'm thinking about right now is Metal Gear Solid 5. Metal Gear Solid 5 is a fantastic video game. It's probably one of the best games this year. Pretty easily, pretty comfortably. And all I want to do is play more of it. Hi-ya! Alright, so now we're introducing some additional elements. Oh, that's okay. So that sends you back a section. If you die. So you want to avoid guys because, well... You know, you want to avoid guys in a video game. That's sort of just, you know, basic rule number one, but then also that forces you to move back through a section that you've already conquered. I like to imagine this is all pizza, and that you're just you're eating pizza, and you're just going deeper into the pizza. So the more slices you eat, whoop, you kill yourself by... No, you can't do that. So when you're running around on top of them, when you're trying to go in, you actually don't jump. So you can only navigate around. So you can't actually leap into the air. But then once you've gone inside the crust, you can leap around. You can theoretically jump over enemies and work your way in. I'm really going to go with this pizza metaphor because I haven't eaten anything for breakfast quite yet. I was kind of craving pizza last night, but was trying to save money, so I didn't want to actually spend any money on a pizza. So I'm mostly just thinking about pizza since last night. And even though it's 8:30 in the morning, like, who wouldn't eat some pizza? Like, I probably would. DW, morning pizza is acceptable pizza. I mean, I agree. Except, okay, crucially, and I know I differ from a lot of people on this, cold pizza is the worst pizza. I don't like it. I want nothing to do with it. Put that pizza in a microwave. Put it on a pan. Put it back in the oven. But none of this cold pizza. I don't want it. I want nothing to do with it. Get out of here. So what's also interesting about Circa Infinity, that is not pizza related, but, you know, I'm sure we'll find a way, is the controls reverse every time. So, you know, holding left here, and as you kind of work your way around, it can feel a little bit strange, and that's often what leads you into trouble, because your first instinct may actually be incorrect. See, like I continue to hold left, and that moves me around, and eventually left starts to make sense again, but not when I'm upside down. At that point, it would feel like right would be the control scheme, but that's kind of the way this game operates, that you have to remember where in space you are to make sure that you're actually heading in the direction that you would like. In the direction of the pizza that you'd prefer. Oh, look at me, just crushing it. Hooah! Hooah! Can't stop me, I'll jump right over you, enemies. Alright, I see the exit in sight. Woo! And then I embrace the sun, my atoms disappear, and I become part of the pizza. One with the pizza. The ultimate goal of Circa Infinity. See, I like the DWs with me. Cold pizza is not acceptable pizza. People that like cold pizza are pizza heretics. I agree. Pizza is only pizza if it's warm, just like the way it was served when you originally got it. Because what? Do you order cold pizza from the pizza place? Like, hey, feel free to warm it up and then just leave it out so it tastes worse. No one does that, but people that do that are monsters. Woo! So what was interesting about Circa Infinity, and specifically the story I wrote about it, was so the developer, Kenny Sun, who I finally got to meet at PAX, which was cool. He didn't like, you know, there's no like submission process for your game to be viewed by and possibly played by PewDiePie. The guy just kind of does what he wants to do. That's not to say that he doesn't maybe work out some, you know, sort of deals that some YouTubers do. But I'm unfamiliar with him, you know, signing a deal with Electronic Arts to get early access to Battlefield. Like, he doesn't have to play in that world. He doesn't have to appeal to anyone except the people that will watch him do literally anything. And one of the things he does every once in a while is to, like, essentially highlight weird games. You know, he'll play independent stuff that's a little more off the beaten path. And so he downloaded Circa Infinity, presumably, as far as we can tell, by we, I mean me and the developer, from just going to itch.io, which is sort of a repository storefront for a lot of indie developers that either can't be on Steam or want to be on something with a little more, I guess, control than Steam? I'm not 100% familiar of the appeal of itch.io, or why one would choose one or the other, but it allows creators to get on there that have not gone through the greenlight process at the very least. So it seemed clear that PewDiePie was going there, just grabbing stuff that seemed interesting, and then playing them. And one of them was Circa Infinity. But the thing is, the video did not feature a link to the game. It only briefly had the title screen. And so if you wanted to check out Circa Infinity, you really had to have liked that video, which I think had something, you know, let's say around 500,000 views, and track it down. And yet people did. He had, the developer, Kenny Sun, had folks that were reaching out to him and saying, hey, how can I give you money for this game? I really enjoyed it. Do you have a PayPal account that I could send you a couple bucks for? Is there somewhere I can buy the soundtrack? And it really, you know, sort of transformed his life. He did not have a game on sale. That was a publicly available demo in which he was, he worked, went to school for design at NYU Game Center. And not even for design, I don't think. Or maybe just, I forget exactly. You can read the story. It's listed there. I don't super remember everything about it. Oh, so this, now these change. Ah. And so what ended up happening was, because of the popularity, when getting featured by someone like PewDiePie, was, you know, the kind of follower count that he has on YouTube and on Twitter for that matter, it got him to reconsider maybe game development was something he wanted to get in full time. And so this game launched earlier this week, and based on the sales of the game, he's going to determine whether or not he's going to make video games full time, whether he's going to quit his cushy sort of standard job that he was about to go to, might actually be at right now, and instead make games for a living, because PewDiePie showed him there was kind of a a path forward, a way that to stand out, or at least that the kind of games that he was interested in making had a chance to stand out in a marketplace that is increasingly fragmented and increasingly difficult in order to make any money. I mean, that's sort of been one of the conversations that's been happening in the independent game space in the last couple of months. Is it's been kind of dubbed the indie-pocalypse, you know, in hyperbolic terms. But you know, the sentiment is that, you know, are there there's a plethora of choice these days. There are so many games you could be playing, so many places you could be playing them. What do you do when there's so much good stuff? And for a lot of people, that's not play anything more than what you already know. And so the idea of the indie-pocalypse is in the democratizing of video games, in which more people than ever before can make games, in which more people than ever before can release games and be purchased by potentially millions of customers. That ends up not necessarily, it benefits people in the abstract, you know, or in the sense that they can put their stuff out there, but doesn't necessarily benefit them in terms of a success. You know, it used to be that being featured on Steam or being featured by Apple in their various storefronts meant you immediately got success. Not so in 2015. Zero Jehudi, who's your buddy of choice? I'm still sticking with a horse in Metal Gear Solid 5. I just got access to Quiet, but I don't know how long it takes for my dog to grow up. I really want my dog to be the one that comes with me on all the missions. I want my dog to fight people. I want my dog to throw knives. I want my dog to just be doing everything, but he still seems to be a puppy. But I've only played, you know, 8 hours? I want to conservatively say I played about 8 hours of the game. So maybe I just need to spend more time with it, and my dog will grow up. He'll become a little pup that grew into a not little pup, into a thing that could have strapped knives to its back and killed Russian soldiers indiscriminately. Ooh, that's a tricky one. I think I gotta get in there, make my way out like that. Now I wait for the opening. Woo-hoo! Folks are saying it's mission based, so it'll just be something that makes sense at some point. Okay, that makes sense. Whoop. Alright, this is becoming a lot more complicated than it was before. There's part of what's interesting about this is you're not only having to keep track of Damn it. Damn it. Your jumps, but the visuals are getting trippy enough that they're actually becoming a distraction. In a good way, obviously it's meant to do that. Let's see. Oh boy, that's not where I want it to be. Alright, so I can only get through there. I guess it... So it seems like what's the best time to do is when they're actually transforming. I can wait here. No, it does not give me enough time. That one does. Whoa. I don't know if you could get in the middle of those two. Maybe that's what you actually have to do? Oh, that seems difficult. Alright, we're brushing up against our first real challenge in the game so far. Oh. I guess you could hang out in the middle. I don't think so, though. There we go. So you just kind of got to warp along. Hopefully not die here. I need to get deep enough so I don't have to try and do that a second time. Oh, just one. Seems like the game's kind of giving me a little bit of a calm in between what I just did there. All right, end of the stage. Thank you, my friend. See you on the other side. My atoms released into the pizza, and we eat it. The Hoveness, so they're making a Pokemon ARs game for smartphones. That sounds maybe interesting. I don't know. Possibly. That, you know, lots of things can be interesting, my friends. Whether they end up being interesting or something different altogether. But, you know, sort of related to that, you know, the absurdity of choice that we were talking about. I feel that right now, with the amount of games that are out, I, you know, started Persona 4 thinking like, oh, I'll just kind of pluck along in that a little bit while I'm playing some other stuff, but no, that's not happening. Oh, wrong way. Then Stasis came out, and I was like, oh, well, I'll hopefully just make it through that before the other big games come out. Well, that didn't happen. And then Metal Gear Solid 5 and Mad Max came out, and I was like, oh, well, I'll probably be able to switch between the two of those, and I'll be okay. No, that didn't happen. And then, you know, I've had ambitions to try and play Destiny 2.0 with the Taken King, because I have so many friends whose opinions I greatly respect, who deeply enjoy Destiny and have tried to explain, you know, why it took to them and the different reasons that that game actually does work when it's working right. And so I want to know what's up with that too. But how am I supposed to have time to play all these games? And that's combined with the fact that the Midwest is currently in the death throes of summer, which means I'm trying to spend most weekends outside and enjoying what's happening in the big, beautiful world before that all disappears into the glorious, ugly mix that is the winter in this part of the country, because it always seems like you get this, you know, 1 week of fall, and then the winter is upon you, and hopefully you enjoyed the brief amount of warm weather you did get, because, well, it's gone forever, and now you're going to be miserable. Alright, let's kind of stick in the middle here. Woo! Look, DW is saying, people that like Destiny are like if you combine Sonic fans with people who eat cold pizza. That's, bro, friend, that is a deeply offensive thing to say about a human being. We try to keep this chat cool. We try to make sure that we're respectful of other people. Comparing Destiny fans to people that enjoy Sonic the Hedgehog and eat cold pizza, that might be a step too far. That might be against the Twitch terms of service. That might actually be a slur in some corners of the internet. Well, that was fun. That felt really good. I guess for me, Destiny is not something that I necessarily need to end up enjoying in so much as I'd just like to get it. You know, I want to know. Like, part of the reason I played Metal Gear Solid 5 over Mad Max, even though I was more interested in playing Mad Max, was because I just had to, like, know what was going on in that game. I wanted to know what Kojima had gotten up to, and I was not willing to wait in order to get the answers to that. Dang it. Ah, no, now I'm making all sorts of mistakes. So it seems like these kind of act as checkpoints where, okay, you've made it through 2 or 3 levels, we're gonna not force you to keep backtracking if you keep making dumb mistakes like that one. Whoop. Part of the problem is when where you spawn can sometimes make it an issue. Alright, so I think this is where I want to... Nope, okay, get that way. I think I want to jump over this cool cat. There it is. Oh, shoot. Watch your position. Alright, same idea. Nope, but the opposite of that. Don't do that part. Okay. Alright, we're back. Don't despair. Woo! They leapt away because they were happy for me. They knew that I was on to something good. Alright, so I'm just gonna be patient. Ah! I messed up that pattern. Oh, messed up that pattern. Now we're gonna get through this, and this will probably bring us to a close. So I try and keep my sanity intact. Jump, little cat things with scary red faces. Okay, so if I go through there, I just need to book it. I just need to move left. But those are kind of off. So I actually need to... Oh, shoot. Shoot. Wonder if I can do that there. Wonder if I can jump over him. Yes! Got it! Woo! That is Circa Infinity, everyone. Pretty rad game. Let's see what the next set of stages looks like. What's kind of the new trick introduced. Oh, alright. So you have these folks that are pretty big that you can't quite jump over. Kind of got to wait in between them. Interesting. Alright, so that does it. You can buy that on Steam now if you want to support an independent developer that's trying to break out, quit their job so they can do this full time. Maybe Circa Infinity is the kind of game that interests you and you'd like to support something like that. I don't know, or not. That's, you know, not my deal. That's your deal. I'm just letting you know what the deal is on the table. You can watch archives of this and other great games, interesting games at the very least, at youtube.com/PatrickKlumpik. I am out of town starting tonight. We'll be gone all weekend, but we'll return on Monday morning for 3 Beers Deep, my live Q&A show. You can submit questions to patrickklumpik.tumblr.com if you'd like to have some questions considered or potentially answered on that Tumblr account on a semi-daily basis. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and I will see everyone later.